Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Small Talk. I am going to record a video because somebody had asked me a question regarding India and Pakistan war that took place, and then eventually there was a ceasefire. That there was some sign of um, nuclear radiation, and he wanted to know if that was the true news. And these kind of news are very difficult to verify because these are very highly secretively kept news. However, after doing research for 2 days, I have a feedback to give. So initially, when India attacked Pakistan, or India blamed Pakistan that they had initiated the murder of those 25 tourists in Pahalgam, which Pakistan had abruptly denied. Pakistan offered to conduct an investigation and offered for India to come in and conduct an investigation, also using any outside intelligence agencies to come and conduct investigation. And if there was a proof of that, Pakistan was willing to take the full responsibility. But India decided not to have any proof, and within 10 minutes after the attack, India blamed Pakistan and started preparing for an attack on Pakistan. So these kind of diplomatic situations, when they take place, obviously that means there's a propaganda on the country who is blaming other country without any evidence or proof. So initially, obviously, US government was not involved and they had no interest in this conflict. And also, US was, trying to be very neutral, and India has expected Turkey to be neutral, China to be neutral as well, but that didn't happen. China and Turkey were in full support of Pakistan, and then later on India realized that there are other regions in this area which could get, other countries in this region that could get involved as well, which includes Saudi Arabia, UAE, etc. And then I guess India did go to Trump and start talking about making peace with Pakistan, because when Trump reached out to Pakistan and talked about ending the war and de-escalating the war, obviously they weren't talking just without India's discussion with them. So Pakistan was still in talk with the US, while India had sent their drones to interior cities of Lahore, Islamabad, and Karachi, and they try to escalate and scare people. So Pakistan military will react in anger or in a rush and in paranoia, whereas Pakistan military has been very smart and they use their intelligence and they did not make a decision in a paranoia. So while Pakistan was talking, India kept attacking. Then finally India attacked Pakistan's airbase, which in return Pakistan decided to launch a retaliatory attack on Indians' airbase, and as a result Pakistan has taken down lots of Indians' airbase, and some of them were completely destroyed. All those Harop drones, which were, I think there was 80 in numbers, which were sent to Pakistan, majority of them have been destroyed. Pakistan has claimed that it has destroyed all of them, but if I was being non-biased and being a very honest YouTuber, I don't think it was the entire 80 drones. Maybe majority of them have been destroyed and some of them may not have been destroyed. Obviously I don't have an evidence either way. And then we saw the biggest dogfight between India and Pakistan, whereas Pakistan did not have as many aircrafts as India did, but there were a total of 120 aircrafts combined in the air, including India and Pakistan. And then finally Pakistan declared victory after destroying five of their planes, and some say there were only 3. So whether 3 or 5, they have been destroyed. Their drones have been destroyed, their planes have been destroyed. So as soon as Pakistan attacked India, that evening, India came forward and requested ceasefire to Donald Trump. And then Saudi Arabia and Donald Trump got involved and they communicated with both nations, and then both nations acted responsibly and they both decided to cease fire and they agreed to this. Now there's an inside intelligence. The CNN has reported that J.D. Vance, the Vice President Donald Trump, had an intelligence report that, and then he went to Modi and he said Pakistan will go to any extent, which includes the use of nuclear weapon, if India does not stop, and Pakistan will retaliate and retaliate hard, and Pakistan will pick the time and the location to attack India. And then I guess Modi did not believe JD Vance and he decided to attack Pakistan anyway, and then they attacked Pakistan's airbase, which as a result Pakistan had to attack back. But then Pakistan, I guess, was not, sorry, India was not expecting this kind of retaliatory attack on India. India has this mental paradigm which they didn't think that Pakistan has the capabilities to fight with India, which obviously we know India is a much bigger country than Pakistan. It has a much better economy, maybe, or maybe a little less better economy than we do. But they were not expecting that Pakistan was so well equipped as far as their military preparations are concerned that they can actually reply back and retaliate back to India. But as soon as India, so this JD Vance intelligence report that CNN has reported, obviously we don't have the first-hand information and we can't verify it, but this just a little bit of information that I received that Pakistan was actually planning on doing something at a much bigger level to India if India did not stop. And I think that's what freaked Modi out after Pakistan attacked Indians' air bases and destroyed quite a few of them. Then Modi had respected Donald Trump to get involved and initiate the ceasefire, which Pakistan has always been and has always said that we want peace and we don't want to fight and we don't want to escalate war. However, at the same time, it's our job to protect the dignity and security of our nation, and that's what Pakistan military has done and it has shown to the world. Pakistan Air Force has been applauded across the globe at international media, and I'm not talking about Pakistan media or Indian media, because if you listen to the both sides of the media, there's obviously so much propaganda, which, you know, I think that's how they get their TPR. Indian media has been just a drama queen. I don't know why they even have those people at their national televisions. Then Pakistan, I mean, Indian government needs to make sure that they need to shut down these channels, because there are multiple reasons why I say this. But Indian media has been falsifying the news, and the common man depends and relies on these news channels to get their information. So they have been dishonest and disloyal to their own public, and they have been lying to their public, which as a result has caused a loss of damage to Indians, you know, and people are frustrated. The second thing is India has been denying all the casualties that took place in India in result of this whole 3 days war that took place, which is also not fair to the family and is disrespect to the deceased one, because it's like their sacrifice has not even been acknowledged by Indian government and Indian military forces. When you listen to the press conferences of both countries, Pakistan DGISPR has been very firm, self-assured, honest, respectful, and responsible in answering all the questions at the press conference. He said it very clearly with full confidence that I want to make it very clear that we don't have, that number one, Pakistan has never requested a ceasefire. And he said it, and I'm saying it on the record, on camera, and I want to make it very clear and firm statement that Pakistan has never requested. Number two, we don't have an Indian pilot in our custody. There is no evidence. We don't have one. This is all social media fake news that has been roaming around, and we don't have Indian pilot in our custody. So they have been very straightforward. When asked questions, they will answer to the question straightforward without any doubts. Whereas if you watch the press conference of Indian military, first of all, the first 2 days there was no press conference from Modi, no press conference from their military officers, and they don't have a DGISPR type of institution anyway. So nobody came forward and gave a statement. It was just social media hell broke out all of a sudden, and it's like मुंह से झाग निकालते और हकलाते हुए लोगों ने अपने statements देना शुरू कर दी. Whereas Pakistan has been at the upfront. And it's not easy to lie in those press conferences when you've been awake for nights, when you're tired, when you're under lots of stress. Lies are very easy that will come out of your mouth, and people cannot be so confident when they're lying the way our DGISPR has been confident. It's because they were being honest and truthful, and regardless of their fatigue and their stress, they were still able to answer the question straightforward because they had nothing to hide from the world, and they don't need to lie to claim this victory. Second thing is, I feel sorry for the Indian Army officers as well. They have been pushed into this war, which has been caused by Modi for him to win his election. And this is how he has been winning elections for past few terms that he's won. He always campaigns on Hindu-Muslim hatred, and that's how he wins the election. Surprisingly, every time it's election time, right before the election, Pakistan attacks India, and then India retaliates back, and then, of course, Modi wins. And I'm surprised that Indians claim to be very intelligent people, well-educated people, which they may be educated, they have degrees, but now I'm doubting their intelligence, that how come they cannot see this pattern ever since Modi took over their country. This terrorist has been butchering Muslims in India who are their own nation, men and women. He has been having his soldiers rape Muslim women. First he did it in Gujarat, and then he did it in Jammu Kashmir, and he has not stopped, and Indian public does not see this. And then they have their very senior analyst, I forgot his name, I think his name is General Bakshi. Those kind of people, these people, Indians don't understand, that they don't realize how Pakistan functions with such dignity and integrity. These General Bakshi type of people are being treated in mental hospitals in Pakistan. We don't take anything that those kind of people say seriously. And those are their senior analysts sitting on their national television and giving the war analysis. Like, have a little bit of more self-respect and more integrity, and have some responsible people come forward and make statements. Also, their media anchor person, Arnab Goswami, kind of human being, in Pakistan, they will not even be able to get a job at a hotel as a waiter. Only in India, it happens so that these kind of losers run one of the largest TV channel, and they are the senior anchor person at that TV channel, and they have been falsifying bad and wrong news. Apparently, India had taken over Islamabad, India had taken over Lahore, Karachi was destroyed. They even had taken over the port in Lahore. I just found out that Lahore has a port, actually. So that, and then India, I don't know, they don't read history, they don't read geography, they don't read anything about Pakistan. I mean, we're your biggest enemy, as for you guys. Have some first-hand information about our country. And our country is not that big, it's pretty small. So for you to learn about Pakistan, it shouldn't take you that long. Don't rely on Goswami. So when he's lying to you, at least you know that these are fake news, these are straight-up lies, and they're just manipulating and playing with your emotions. So these kind of people will not even get a waiter's job in Pakistan. Pakistan is run in a very different way. Yes, we have our problems, we have our difficulties that we face, we have our internal affairs and political problems that we are facing. But I have to make one thing very clear. After this war that took place between India and Pakistan, we did see that India has lost at political level, it has lost at diplomatic level, it has lost at a public level. The public don't trust them anymore. At the diplomatic level, they thought that they will have their allies standing by their side. Nobody was standing by their side. Maybe Israel was the only one who was on their side. And then if you look at Pakistan, Pakistan had all their allies standing by their side, and they were fully in support of Pakistan, which includes Turkey and China, and to some extent, I guess, US. I've seen Trump 2.0. I live in the US. I have lived through his first term, and I am living through his second term. Ever since he was elected, the second term, I have seen this shift in his approach towards Pakistan. I think he's more lenient towards Pakistan compared to India. Though Indian thinks that US is all on their side, but it's not. And then the other thing I want to make sure that India, the plane that they flew, which was a Russian plane, which Pakistan had destroyed, sorry, French aircraft, which has been destroyed, their stock has fallen in the past 3 days. And stock market doesn't lie. Investors are very smart because they're investing billions of dollars in the stock market on these companies. And as soon as they realize that these planes, as per India, they had malfunction, which they didn't. Pakistan military had destroyed their plane. But okay, if it was malfunction and it was destroyed, that means destruction did take place, which Indian media has been denying. So their stocks have dropped. Whereas Pakistan, the aircraft that we used that was uh, made by China, their stocks have been going up in the past 3 days. So everything has been telling you who won and who lost the war. And then for past 4 days, I've been watching both sides of the news. India has been off the hook and they think they won the war. Pakistan has bent the knees, ghus ke marna tha Pakistan mein. Nobody let you ghus in our country. Pakistan did not even let you ghus in, unfortunately, for you guys. Pakistan had stopped you in Delhi and Pakistan had attacked in your country and it didn't even let your aircraft enter into Pakistan's territory. So what are you talking about? I mean, your government is a loser. Your nation is ran by Modi the butcher, the biggest terrorist. You guys have been terrorizing Pakistan for last decade or more than a decade. I mean, of course, for last 70 years, but ever since Modi took over your country and you became a mental slave to Modi, you guys have been terrorizing Pakistan. You guys have been terrorizing Kashmiri Muslims. I was watching actually a news anchor's interview in Kashmir. Oh, what do you say to Pakistan's attack? And they were like, what attack? We don't know about any attack. And then they were like, see, nobody is even speaking the truth. Yeah. And one of the rickshaw drivers said, if I speak the truth, I will get shot right here because you guys will kill me. So those are the kind of news you're getting. And then they're not even ashamed of themselves going into Indian occupied Kashmir and trying to force people there to speak against Pakistan, but they're not going to do it. They completely stay out of it because they know if they open their mouth and they spoke the truth, this butcher, that's Modi, will come and kill all of them. And they don't want to get shot because they have families to protect, they have children to take care of, and that's why they're afraid to speak up and share their honest opinion. The other thing I was looking at is the Indian have a tendencies of trolling Pakistan when people like me, I am pretty neutral. Of course, I'm a Muslim and I'm Pakistani and I have deep love for my country, deep love for my military. And I want to fully support Pakistan if India is going to attack and trying to destroy Pakistan. So that's my job and my duty as a Muslim and as a Pakistani to stand by my nation. But at the same time, I will never stand by the false accusation, the lies. I have zero tolerance policy for that, and I will absolutely adhere to those policies. So people like me, when we speak and we try to give the true and honest opinion, Indians will come forward and they'll start making these kind of nasty comments. So they only like you when you are saying India is great. I said Indian people, they're well educated. They have lots of good degrees. They are very advanced in technology. And I'm happy for you guys and you should be proud of yourselves. But I am doubting your intellect at this point after this war, that how could you not see through this entire propaganda that Modi has created? Your military has been pushed into this. Feel sorry for those who are being killed at the borders in protection of your nation and who have been pushed into this war by Modi just for him to win the election. You're sacrificing the children of mothers who took an oath to protect the borders of your country, not to protect the Modi's seat in parliament. So you need to stand up against Modi and tell him that he needs to stop this propaganda and he needs to stop using Indian army officers just to protect his political image and just to protect his political seat in the parliament. Why can't you guys do this? Holding a degree is not enough. You have to use your intellect to analyze the situation and find out the truth. It's not that hard. I live in the US. There are lots of Indian youngsters and Pakistani youngsters, and they don't take anybody's shit from anywhere. They built their own narrative based off of news, and they have very neutral opinion regardless of whether Pakistani or the majority of them. Of course, there's exception to a rule that always happen. It depends on how they're raised inside their families. But majority of the children, because they have friends in schools and colleges, they hang out together, they eat together, they have fun together, they play together, they play sports, they play music. So they are very closely connected to each other. And when these kind of events take place, both sides of the youngsters, whether Indian or Pakistani youth, they look at the narrative, they look at the real picture, the true picture, and then they build their own narrative. They don't listen to their parents or their media or their so-called Modi type of butcher prime minister or Nawaz Sharif or Shehbaz Sharif. They will state the truth, and most of them, I have watched Indian children speak about it. The youngsters, when I say children, I don't mean like young kids, I mean like college students, like youth in the age of between the age of 19 to 25, 30 years old. And they are very upfront and straightforward, and they said that Modi has destroyed Indians' reputation at a public, at a world platform, and Modi needs to go. Modi needs to leave politics now. Modi needs to leave the Prime Minister house now. But I know these poor youngsters don't control the politics of India. These youngsters live here. They can see what has taken place in this whole entire drama that was created, but they don't control the politics of India. So these people, these kids don't take anybody's bullcrap from either side. They built their own narratives, and they have built the narratives, and they have been very straight up and straightforward. And they realize that what Modi has done, and it has caused damage to both sides of the countries. India and Pakistan, mothers have lost their children, innocent kids have been killed, women have become widowers, and mothers have lost their sons, and those sons had taken oath to protect the borders of their country. They did not take an oath to fight for Modi to protect his political career. And that's where I have a problem with Modi, and that's where I have a problem with Indian public. You can troll me all you want, but don't you see a pattern ever since Modi came into the parliament and ever since he became prime minister? It so happens that right before the elections, for some reason, Pakistan attacks, and then Modi pushes his military into the war with Pakistan, and then somehow they claim victory, and then Modi wins. Don't you guys see this pattern? I mean, the whole world sees it. The entire world has acknowledged the strength of Pakistan Air Force. The whole world has acknowledged the strength of Pakistan's preparation and how well Pakistan is equipped to fight and protect its nation if needs be. In fact, some of the countries have requested Pakistan Air Force to train their pilots to fight just like the way they fought. And you can search up the news. It's not hidden secret. There are so many newspapers that are reporting this. And newspaper worldwide, don't read Indian paper. Read the papers at international from the international media. They have also reported that Pakistan declares victory. Pakistan has won this war in a very respectful manner. Pakistan has been very firm and straightforward when answering all the questions. Pakistan has been very respectful of both nations. Pakistan's military and air force combined have been answering all the questions straightforward. All these things are being written in the papers as their headlines, and you can search it up, the Indian media. Anyways, back to my video. The Pakistan never requested ceasefire. J.D. Vance went to Modi, and J.D. Vance had some, and this is the CNN report, not Pakistan media report or Indian media report. The J.D. Vance had some intelligence report. Of course, we didn't have the first-hand information because we're not sitting there listening to their telephone calls. But J.D. Vance told Modi that Pakistan will go to any extent if Pakistan needs to protect its borders. And right after Pakistan attacks Indian air bases, Modi came forward and requested Saudi Arabia and Trump to get involved, and he's happy to have a ceasefire, and that's where Pakistan agreed, and I'm glad they agree. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have. I'm happy because nobody wants the war to be escalated because common people suffer. When there's a loss of economic damage, I was watching a lady, she had her video come up and she was crying and she said, this government is saying nothing happened, come and ask us, we have lost our home. एक गरीब बंदे के पास उसकी छठी होती है, हमसे वो भी छीन गई है, इनको क्या पता, एसी कमरों में बैठ के मीटिंग्स करते हैं. Those are her exact words about her own government. And she was like, हम जो आम जनता है हम सफर कर रहे हैं. तो what your social media is saying, what your mainstream media is saying is totally different from what your public is stating. So be empathetic with your people. Be mindful of the people who have lost their lives, those soldiers who have lost their lives, and you're denying it. That's a disrespect to their death, and that's a disrespectful to their sacrifice that they've made to protect Modi's career, and that's a disrespectful to those mothers who have lost their children, who had sworn to protect Indian border, not protect Indians, Prime Minister Butcher Modi's political career. That's all I have to say. I hope this video helps. Please share your comments in the comment section below and give my video a thumbs up. I'm open to getting all the comments, your feedback. I just wanted to share my perspective on this. Until next video, please stay safe and take care.